I just wanted to pop on here live and talk to you guys about working your business when you're busy. Now, I know summertime can kind of get away from us. So I just wanted to tell you guys a couple things. First, I challenge you to change your mindset about being busy or the summer or any of the challenges that are happening with Pampered Chef with the shipping. So some examples would be, I have my notes over here. To change your but into your because, right? So if you are saying, I just don't have the time to message everyone and I just want to have a really great summer with my family and then I'll get back to it during the fall. I challenge you to change that mindset into I'm going to work my business because I want to have a really great summer, right? And then if you're like, I'm really busy because, I have a full-time job, I want to challenge you to change that. Hi, Debbie. She's checking in from work. I won't tell. I want to challenge you to change that mindset of you're too busy because you have a full-time job into I need to work this business because I have a full-time job and I want to eventually make Pampered Chef my full-time business. Or let's say you have a really big family, right? Or a lot of littles that especially need your attention. Again, that's a whole nother thing where instead of saying that's the reason that maybe you can't do something, change that into that's the reason why you're going to do something, right? You want to work your business so that you can spend more time with your family and actually make a meaningful income for them as well. So, again, when you think to yourself, I'd love to send messages, but XYZ, I'm too busy with this. Change that into, I'd love to send messages. So I'm going to send a few out right now. When I used to work 70 hours a week and I started Pampered Chef, we had just live parties really at the time and catalog parties. I still worked my business. And then, I went down to 40 hours, which made it a lot more doable. But what I did is I broke everything down into 15-minute chunks. And one really great example of that is like our friend Kelly Mello, who's an executive director. She works during her kids' nap time, right? So she calls it nap time hustle. Or Becky Yon, one of my favorite national executive directors. She became a national within 3 years, just a little under 3 years from the time that she started. And she told us in our executive bound learning that or trainings that she only works during nap time and after dinner a little bit before the kids go to bed and after the kids go to bed. So it's just amazing what can be accomplished when you actually are a little more focused on what exactly you need to do in short amount of times, right? So I used to sit in my car right after work and I would do 15 minutes of work there. And then even when I came home, I would park in front of my house because I knew I wouldn't be disturbed there, right? For 15 minutes and do a little bit of work. People used to tell me that I was just lucky with getting my leads, right? And I decided to explain to people that it's not, see, I have this, that it's not just that I'm lucky, because it's not luck, right? It's work, because I break things down into 15-minute chunks. I don't know if you can see this. So this is what I, tell people with limited amount of time to make sure that you're doing, right? So you can set the timer and do 15 minutes of messages to get bookings. And this also includes like follow-up, right? Because when you message people asking how they like their products and this and that, that's another time where you can ask them for the booking. I spend 15-minute chunks doing host coaching, 15 minutes with my recruit leads, and 15 minutes with either talking to my team or doing some sort of training, right? And by that, I mean training for myself. So I will listen to a Saturday success call because they're actually usually about 20 minutes. It's perfect. Because the more you learn, the more you earn, right? I know it sounds cheesy, but it's 100% true. So I'm always making sure that I'm learning at the same time. Now, you guys can do any goal with 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. It's just about being hyper focused, right? Again, so it's that, okay, 15 minutes, and maybe you don't have a whole hour to do it, but you just break it down in these sections because we all have 15 minutes here and there, right? How many times have you maybe played a game on your phone or decided to watch something on Netflix and get locked into that, right? And my husband and I, we do like certain shows, right, on Netflix, but I have myself make sure I message 5 people before I watch anything or another episode, or I have to be on the treadmill in order to watch some sort of show, right? Because I love like Project Runway. It's my guilty pleasure, but I have to be doing something else at the same time, to warrant that for myself. So it's just about being hyper focused. If you really don't know where to start, I suggest that you focus on getting 4 bookings that are going to start next week. And you can do that with just those little chunks of time. Message, you can message 20 people in 10 minutes, right? Green dot. If it's someone you haven't asked, make sure before, use some wording that you've heard before. If it's someone that you get into the message and see that you've asked them about hosting before, but they never responded, just say, hey, it doesn't matter how long ago it was. Hey, just checking to see if hi, Susie, just checking to see if you saw my last message above. And guys, that is magic. I don't know how many times I have opened a message and not responded to it right away. And if somebody just tells me, oh, hey, did you see that? I'm so glad that they did because, especially as a leader, because I could maybe miss that message. Just ask them. Usually about half of those people at a party, or they'll tell you maybe not right now. And that's when I ask, okay, no problem. Should I get in touch with you next month about the new products? But first you want to focus on getting 4 new bookings for next week. That's really where you want to start. And again, just take 10 minutes a day, today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and message 10, 20 people, and you are going to get those 4 bookings. And it is going to get you into the right direction for the rest of August. If you were just on our director call, it was amazing. They talked about how not only do they have the 2 new lines about to be up and running in our distribution center, they bought a 3rd one. The shipping's going to get better. The back orders are going to get better. Guys, we are in good shape. And whatever you do now is going to set you up for the fall, right? So as much as you may want to, watch that show or say, I'm going to message tomorrow, do what's going to make you proud today. And it only takes a short amount of time. I think so many of us get caught up in thinking that we have to spend hours and hours on the phone or on the computer when really you don't. You just have to be hyper focused to set 15-minute chunks for yourself of time to do what you need to do, right? Write this somewhere for yourself. The 4 burners, maybe some people call it. I put it on a 4-leaf clover. But also, what you do is going to help your team. No matter what you tell them or ask of them, they're going to follow the leader, right? So